Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mr. Dotson-Kelly. I'm a high school math teacher. In this video, I'm going to teach you what the product of powers rule is. This is the fourth video in a series of videos I'm doing on the properties of exponents. I personally like the product of powers. It is one of the more intuitive rules when it comes to the properties of exponents. Let's see an example of one really quickly. If I had 2 to the third power times 2 to the fifth power, what does that equal? Well, let's break this down individually. 2 to the third power means, quite literally, 2 times 2 times 2. My base is 2, and that base is being multiplied 3 times. This second exponent is 2 to the fifth power, also being multiplied. The power is different though, it's 5. This time I end up with 2, don't forget this multiplication, 2 being multiplied 5 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so this is 5, but with the same base 2. But if we were to include all of this together, you would note that there are now, we can count it all out, there's 3 here and there's 5 here. Well, if I am taking 3 2's and 5 2's and I'm multiplying them all together, well, in a way, I can add these together. I can even count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 2's. So this ends up being 2 to the 8th power. So one of the ways I challenge my students when I teach them this in the classroom is I ask them, what relationship do the numbers 3 and 5 have in common that gives me the number 8? So really quickly on the side, I'm going to write that out. 3 and 5 equals 8. And the question is, how do I get 8 from 3 and 5? Well, the only mathematical operation that gives us 8 from 3 and 5 is adding. The rule is this: if you have the same base with different exponents being multiplied together, you can add the exponents together. So we have here 2 to the third times 2 to the fifth is equal to 2 to the 3 plus 5. The base stays the same and my exponents becomes 3 plus 5. And then you can simplify that to 2 to the 8th power. So bringing that down here, 2 to the 8th power, we got that because we added those together. We added those together to get 2 to the 8th power. So very simply put, using more mathematical terms for this, the product of powers rule states that if I have the same base, some base a, raised to the mth power, and I'm multiplying a second power with the same base, then I get to add the exponents together. So again, this becomes a to the m plus n. Basically what's going on here is that I have a times a dot 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 times a multiplied to a times dot 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 times a. And if you look at it the way I highlighted up above, I have m number of a's here multiplied to n number of a's here, m number, n number, bring me to a grand total of m plus n together. And the base is all a. And that's the rule. A couple quick examples. Pick 2 random exponents. If I have 3 raised to the 5th power multiplied to 2 raised to the 3rd power multiplied to 3 raised to the 15th power, how can I simplify this? Well, I find the things that have the same base. In this case, 3 and 3 are the same base. And because it's all done through multiplication, I can take those 2 powers and I can add their exponents because this is all multiplication. So in my next line, this is the only thing that's different. I'm going to leave that alone. That's 2 to the 3rd power. But because these two have the same base, I'm going to add their exponents and get 3 multiplied to 3 to the 20th power. And that right there is how you would simplify using the product of powers rule. Thank you for watching my video, ladies and gentlemen. Hope to see you next time.